Hello and welcome. I'm Carolyn, your host. Welcome to this week's Weekly Mini, your bite-sized workshop on the hottest acro topics. You can reference all of our previous weekly minis and more amazing content on our Acrobatic Arts channel on YouTube. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer those for you at the end. If you know someone who should hear about today's topic, be a friend and click the share button on this post right now and let them know we're here. Today, we're pleased to present to you on behalf of Baton Arts two legendary baton twirlers and master teachers, Jennifer Marcus and Mark Nash, for a bite-sized tutorial on baton arts and prop manipulation and all of the good things that can come from incorporating baton arts at your studio. And you are in good hands. Jennifer Marcus is a world champion baton twirler, an internationally recognized coach, choreographer, and a former Cirque du Soleil performer. Jennifer represented the US for 19 years, winning 2 world championships and 12 international titles. She also became the winningest athlete of all times for the United States Twirling Association. After retiring, she was offered her dream job with Cirque du Soleil's Volta, where she went on to perform in more than 550 shows throughout North America. She's the co-founder of Artist Sports, which hosts baton competitions and camps and promotes the sport of dance, baton, and color guard. Mark Nash has been twirling since the age of 5, and during his career, he won national and world championship titles in every twirling discipline. He is an 8-time men's world baton twirling champion and has traveled to over 20 countries teaching and performing. Mark was a student of world-renowned coach Dale White. He has also coached and choreographed for many national and world champion individuals and teams, including world champion Savannah Miller. Mark has danced professionally as a principal and a soloist with Dayton Ballet, International Ballet Theatre, Ballet West, and Cincinnati Ballet. Mark is also the U.S. Division Manager for Acrobatic Arts and co-creator of Baton Arts, along with Jennifer. And we're thrilled to have them both here today to present. Jennifer joins us now from her home in South Florida, and Mark in California. Welcome to you both.
It's great to be here. Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Thanks, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing great today. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, so we'll get to it. First of all, I think, Mark, a couple questions for you because I know that for dance studios, acrobatic arts, baton arts is an extension, but taking that leap into understanding, people know in dance what a syllabus is, but we hear the word baton arts and we hear the word baton, and it may be a little to get over that fence in being ready to incorporate something new into our dance studio. Can you tell us how baton arts is relevant to the acro and dance industry?
Absolutely. I think as we sort of become a more unified worldwide body of dancers and performers through all the social media capabilities we have with video and other things, we're starting to see that dancers are really required to be a little bit more versatile of what they do, right? It seems like we are upping our dancers' requirements and capabilities in order to perform in a professional setting year over year. I kind of feel like it's a rebirth of the vaudevillian days. If you think of the vaudeville performers, they were just good at one artistic thing. Yes, they could juggle, but they were also fantastic performers that could do hand balancing and they could do theatrical things. And I think we're sort of leaning toward that way as artists, where we are no longer able to just dance or just be a baton twirler, but there's going to be a lot of crossover as we continue into the future. And baton arts can really help with that because it's a skill that once dancers learn it, it can be transferred into many, many different things. So don't think of only the baton capabilities or think of competitive twirling, but think of the artistic endeavors. We see baton twirling a whole lot more in shows like Cirque du Soleil, but also in all sorts of variety shows. And people are twirling all sorts of different props, whether it be an umbrella, a cane, a hat, a broomstick, a flag. I mean, you get the idea. All of those things have the same essence to them. They have the same skill development requirement, which is very much mirrored to twirling a baton. And so we feel like offering the syllabus is not only sort of reawakening sport and an athletic thing that has an artistic slant to it, in terms of baton twirling, but also in terms of permitting our dancers to open a whole wide variety of things that they can do and bring to their performance in order to wow audiences and also be a lot more marketable and hireable. And I think Jen's probably more apt to be able to talk to with her experience being, hired by Cirque du Soleil for her amazing. I don't know if anybody knows this, so I'll say it because she's very humble. But she received perfect tens in a competitive environment for her twirling three batons at the same time. And so she just launched twirling to a level it had never been before, which was super incredible. I believe that's one of the ways Cirque found out about her, but I don't know if she can share that. But it launched her into a career of, that combined with her abilities as a performer and a dancer to getting a job. So, Jen, maybe you want to tell us more about that, but it's pretty incredible. You should check her out online if you get a chance.
Thank you. Yeah, very humbling. Yeah, I mean, I just think my experience with Cirque du Soleil really showed me how versatile you have to be as a performer. Obviously my craft was baton twirling, but incorporating dancing, you don't just do one thing when you're in a show. Most people might not know that. All the performers not only do their skill that they're experts for, but you also are incorporated throughout the show, and you do lots of things and you manipulate lots of different potential props. And so obviously I was comfortable with the baton, that was my thing, but I know how important it is for other people that might have the different skill set to feel comfortable when they're holding different types of props, and how much of an asset you can be to a show or any type of, theater performance, when you can offer, like, not only can I do this, but I also can manipulate very well, this other, whatever it looks like. Mark mentioned a couple things. So I think that was, an asset for me, being part of Cirque du Soleil, as I was able to be utilized in a bunch of different ways. And I know dancers and acrobatics and aerialists, if they are comfortable with manipulating, props, they'll be able to be even more of an asset to whatever they're working on.
I want to say so many good points from both of you. I mean, just if you think about what Jen, if people think about the last time they went to a Cirque show, or if they're going to one, or any performance like that coming up, and you watch the through line of one of the artists, I think you will see that demonstrated throughout the whole performance. And you can see that. And like Mark said, you become more hireable. Your options definitely open up. So when we're looking to our students and what the possibilities in their careers are in their life moving forward, also diversifying, cross-training, all the things that come from not narrowing your focus, although there's benefits to that, but we also are learning so much more about diversifying and opening up those opportunities for our students in so many ways, right? Okay. Yes. So thank you so much for both of you for that. So can we ask you, Mark, obviously this sounds like a great idea. We're excited about it. We know the value of it, but some people have expressed that concern about learning something totally new. What if they never picked up a baton in their life? How do they incorporate baton now, adding something completely new to a very busy life, dance season, offerings? How do they do that and do it well?
That's such a great question. In fact, I think as I've gone through the convention circuits and talked to various teachers when we do our acrobatic courses, I think that's one of the questions I get most often is dance teachers feel they have so many genres of dance they're already trying to offer, and not knowing anything about baton twirling, is it right for me, and should I do it, and how do I do it? And all those are really great questions. I like to think back, all of our viewers today at one point were new learners to acrobatics, to the acrobatic arts syllabus anyway, if not to acrobatics. And I'm sure there was some trepidation and worry about, we need acro, but we're not sure how to do it. So they found us. And what they discovered is that we took them from the very, very basics. We're talking ball pose, sitting in pike, and understanding just very basic things about acro, and then how to build progressively on those to become a great acrobat on stage. And we've taken that same philosophy and that same template and that same desire for progressions, because progressions are the best way in anything you do to train your body and your mind to go to a very high level. So we've broken it down to how to hold a baton, which end of the batons are what, right there, all the way up to some more difficult twirling skills. And it really doesn't take a whole lot of flash and flare. You can learn some very basic twirls that can add really a lot of pizzazz and style and excitement to a program. So as a studio, I think the first thing you do is obviously you go to one of our courses and you get certified. But barring that, once they've sort of become certified, a lot of studios also worry about time, because some studios are just so filled with classes that it's not possible to add one more thing. If that's the case for you, it's great to do weekend workshops, or even, a Saturday 2-3 hour workshop to gauge the interest and to sort of teach some of the basic skills, and or to supplement what your dancers are already doing. If that's still not possible, because we dance on Saturdays and Sundays aren't an option. It's very easy if you can carve out even 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes in your jazz class and pick up a cane and you're teaching baton skills, but now you're using a cane, so it's very appropriate to the jazz genre. And you can go over some skills during jazz class because it's still supporting that technique. Or maybe you go to your musical theater class and you pick up an umbrella in the corner. You have them all bring an umbrella because winter is coming, and say, go grab your umbrella, shake up the water, and we're going to learn some few things with an umbrella. So if there's a will, there's certainly a way, and I would encourage you to do it, because again, the more versatile these dancers are, the more you're setting them up for success in an industry that they love.
For sure. And so we did talk about the benefits for our dancers and the benefits for studio owners. Would you say, I mean, obviously the increased outcomes for their dancers, better skills, better confidence when you're choreographing and you're picking up a cane or a stick or a staff, or you know how to incorporate those things better that make sense, giving your students and yourself confidence. Are there any other benefits that you could suggest would be something that studio owners may not be looking at that you think we haven't covered?
Well, there's a very basic thing about hand-eye coordination. We're teaching dancers how to coordinate their bodies, but there's something, we're so focused on our bodies and how our bodies move, and we become masters at understanding that. But then we don't really understand when we grab things, weights and balances and things that we don't think about, but those are things that we talk about and learn about in our twirling syllabus. So it's kind of outer body, picking up other things and learning how to manipulate them and make them dance on stage for us, right? And I think that there are a million ways that you can incorporate new things having had twirling skills presented to you. I say that from experience. As a professional dancer on stage, I've twirled hats and I've twirled umbrellas and I've twirled canes, and I've done all of that. And I recall specifically that when some of the works that I've been in required that, the understudies and even castmates that were next to me would really have like almost paralyzing fear that they were going to drop or not be able to do it on stage because they just never had the experience. And so, don't put your dancers in that sort of situation. It's, as I said early on, I just think that the expectation we have on dancers today is just incredible, and they're rising to the challenge because we're giving them the right tools. So give them a few more.
Speaking of which, I know we have some more questions for you, Mark, about what Baton Arts offers and upcoming trainings and the support that people could expect should they become a part of it. But we've been talking, so I want to give Jennifer an opportunity. If you think this is a good segue, tell me if I'm wrong, to show us a couple of skills that transfer to stage and that's easy for audience appeal, so that you can kind of get your mind around what Mark's talking about. Jennifer?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. So what I would add before I show you a couple things is that when you're using a prop, you really want it to become an extension of the body. So if you're going to give your dancers a prop, you want them to be comfortable with it and you want them to do something with it. I've seen lots of performance where they have a hat and they just hold it the whole time, or a cane and they just hold it. And it's like, if you're going to have a prop, I encourage you to do something with it. And so you want them to be really comfortable so that if they do have a cane or something and they've got this beautiful technique and they're performing and then they go to do something and you can tell the fear or skepticism that they're not as confident that they're going to complete that little twirl with the cane or whatever it may be. So I'm just going to show you a couple things that you might find in the Baton Arts curriculum today that you can use with an umbrella, a broom, anything that you maybe could incorporate this with. We're first going to start off with an arm roll. And so and I'll do this quickly. Obviously, we go into way more detail in the courses, but we're just going to have your arm out. I've chosen to put out my left arm, but as always, you can do everything on the left as you do on the right. So left arm is out. You're going to I'm using a baton here today, and I'll show you with something else in a second. We're going to place it. You're going to hold it about 3/4 of the way down of your prop. Your arm is going to be out nice, straight, and strong. And you're going to place the prop underneath your arm. And you're going to just put it on till it touches the side of the arm. And at that point, the weight of the top of the baton is going to fall over. And you're going to grab it on the other side. Looks simple, right? And it will be for, I think, most of your older dancers or acrobats, but maybe the little ones might have a little bit more of trouble, but I promise you, even the youngest ones will get this. So you place the baton or prop underneath your arm, roll it over, and grab it. Another one that you could learn is an elbow roll, which is very similar, all the same fundamentals as that arm roll, except your arm is going to be in a different position. So we're going to have it in a triangle shape, if you can see that. My fingers are nice, close, tight, reaching up to my shoulder. Again, I've chosen my left shoulder, but you can do it on either side. Left arm, excuse me. My left arm is up in that elbow. You're going to, again, you're holding it 3/4 of the way down. You come down underneath, and right when that hand gets to the side, you can feel it on your tricep. You're going to place the prop or baton on your elbow. You'll grab it, and you'll grab it on the other side. When you're first learning it, I would encourage just placing it, waiting there, and grabbing it. And obviously, as you're more comfortable, you'll be able to roll it. And as you incorporate this into movement, you know, you've got your cane, you can do passes with it, you know, pas de bourrées or whatever you want, but you can really incorporate it into all of your dancing moves. More things that you can use with your prop are loops. Loops and swings. So that's when you're holding the baton or the prop at the very end and you're doing big swings up or little swings behind your head or behind your back. So even though that looks, you know, kind of simple, when you incorporate that into your choreography, you know, most props you can really use by doing lots of loops. And so you might do, you know, a little combo where you've got your cane and you go shoulder, shoulder, around, loop here, and, you know, turn and passe. It sounds, you know, that might look complicated, but if you really work with your dancers and have them comfortable manipulating the prop that they have, you'll be able to really create a new element to your routine. And so I've just got this little broomstick right here. So very much like the baton, it's small. It's, you know, you might be doing, I don't know, like from Mary Poppins, a little chimney song. I can't remember what it's called. But let's say you've got brooms as your prop. Here you go. This is not a baton. They're not going to be expecting in your routine to see any baton skills, but we know your dancers are trained with those basic baton skills. So they're going to be so impressed when your dancers are out there with this wonderful production and they're now using their, broom and doing some of the skills that they have learned in their baton classes. So that's just like a little bird's eye view into how you can incorporate some props. And I have recorded a few acrobatic arts props videos, I think using a hat, maybe something else. So we'll be sure to link those up for you. But I'll pass that back over to you, Carolyn, and we can talk a little bit more.
That is awesome. And you're right. It looks, it is flashy, and it's not, the thing is with the course, I think, because I've taken the module 1, and I think you do learn the natural direction of things and how things flow. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can really make things look super flashy that are really basic, and have the confidence to teach your students how to do that themselves. So thank you for sharing that. I look forward to your upcoming production of Mary Poppins. It's going to be awesome. That's so good. So Mark, we should wrap it up here. I think we've given people lots of good things to consider, but what can they expect with baton arts in terms of support?
Well, you nailed it actually with your slur. All that you expect with acrobatic arts is there for you with Baton Arts. So we have an amazing app that has our syllabus skills and additional skills that you can learn from and how to teach those skills and so forth. We have a training course coming up on the weekend of October 1st and 2nd. We'd love to see you there. Again, we take you from the very beginning, so there's no reason to be fearful. We do have a foundations course that we recommend you take ahead of time. We do say it's mandatory, but that's because we cover those skills a little bit faster at the course. But we'll be covering all of those skills. Reach out to us if you have any questions and you'd like to join, but you missed the foundations workshop. We'd be happy to work with you there. And aside from the app and aside from our syllabus, we have bound syllabus and our online teaching, we have an amazing group of people on Facebook as well that get certified. And so we have that community that you can reach out to. And of course, Jen and I and Loren and Mandy and everybody, we're available and interested in helping you succeed with your studio.
So true, Mark. It is one of the incredible things about this community is making sure that we're here for your success. That's why we do what we do. And I know they are so humble, but they are incredibly talented individuals as artists themselves and also as teachers. So you are in such good hands at the development of this course. And also, with that being said, Google Mark Nash, Google Jennifer Marcus after this. And I know they're humble. I read their bios, but take a look at who they are, where they've come from, where they performed, and that just adds more credibility to the whole story. So, Mark, Jennifer, is there anything else you wanted to add today?
Thank you for joining us, and we hope that we actually get to meet each of you in person at a course. We'd love to see your faces. We're passionate about this. We love acro, we also love baton, and we love dance. We love everything, and we just love our community so much.
Yep, and all I was going to add is that baton twirling can be learned at any age. So if you only can fit 1 hour or 1 45-minute class into your studio a week, you can make it an all ages type class, and anyone that's interested. Sometimes, little kids want something in their hands to distract them to just, only focusing on their body. They love something flashy. So you might find that some of the athletes that, and dancers that already come to your studio are really excited about that one baton class that you have a week. And it would be a really cute little recital number at the end of the year. That just adds, one more level, an option to your studio. So baton twirling for everyone. And you can call it whatever you want, prop manipulation.
That's right. So true. Yes, friends, if you can't see already the amount of passion that these two have, I'm sure you can see that. So that is what is infused in our program at Baton Arts. We hope that you will consider joining us on our upcoming training October 1st and 2nd. I'll put the link in the comment section for you for Baton Arts and for that course as well. If you are interested in benefiting from the expertise of master trainers and skilled professionals like Jennifer and Mark, with the goal of enhancing dancer results, skills, and potential by bringing something new to your studio offerings, visit batonarts.com for upcoming opportunities like our Module 1 Baton Arts Teacher Training. Thank you so much again, Jennifer and Mark. Thank you, teachers, for joining us for this weekly mini. Join us again next week. Thanks, everyone.